How's up, y'all? It's popping. It's DISS. So we are here to get into the details of this beef, child. It's been so much going on. It's been a roller coaster, but I have been enjoying every second of it. So excited. But we are gonna react to some breakdowns of a couple of these diss tracks. So I've reacted to all of the diss tracks. I'm all caught up right now. Okay, so I did two of Kendrick's and one of Drake's, like all within the past 24 hours. So all of those recent ones are up on my Patreon right now if you're interested. Link down below. Okay, we've been over there discussing. We've been having a time. Like we all been like super hype. I just feel like the energy is just so high. I love it. So anyway, I'm reacting to two of Kendrick's breakdowns for 616 in LA and Meet the Grams. I did look for a breakdown for Family Matters. I cannot find one. I see a few people who are trying to break it down, but they're reacting to it. And I don't want to react to somebody else's reaction. The only person I really do that for is like Act. But otherwise, I'd rather not do that. So yeah, I can't find just a simple breakdown of Family Matters. And to be fair, it's probably because that song is a lot more straightforward. And to be fair, I would argue that Meet the Grams is very straightforward too. So it's like I don't even think we need a breakdown for that either. But anyway, these are the videos that we have for breakdown. So let's hear what they have to say. Let's get into it.
Kendrick was
So
talking
we'll
about how
start
he
with
liked back to back
616.
and how he was gonna get back to that on his last day.
Back to back, I like that record. I'm getting back to that for the record.
So that's exactly what he did at 6:16 a.m. this morning, which is a reference to Drake's timestamp series, Father's Day, the day that the show Euphoria first premiered, Hawk's birthday. 6:16 could be Summer 16, Drake's Meek Mill diss, and then it's also this Revelations verse about sitting on the throne or something. I guess Drake was right about Kendrick being in his New York apartment writing up quintuple entendres, because damn. There's obviously a lot to unpack here, so I'm gonna get straight into it. The song's cover on Instagram is a Maybach glove, Maybach music, like Rick Ross, who's also
I saw somebody said like, "Oh, this is OJ's glove," and I'm like, "What?" I feel like people just be throwing shit out and just saying anything, so I don't be knowing what to believe. Honestly, that's why I try to like tune out like blogs and comments and stuff because people just are all over the place saying whatever.
with Drake. It's just one glove like MJ. It's also just one black glove like OJ. And Nicole Brown, who
Okay, he mentioned OJ in this video, but people were saying that was OJ's glove, and I'm like, it's not that nigga's actual glove.
OJ was on trial for killing. Her funeral was on June 16th. The fact that he posted on Instagram was a direct parallel to Drake's Tailor Made. It also debunks the claim that he can only drop when his label wants him to. The song was also literally tailor made. It was produced by Jackie Antonoff, who's the main producer for Taylor on her most recent album. And all of that is before you even get into the lyrics. The intro sets the song up perfectly. He references the song Survival by Drake, where he raps about the streets and being close to death.
I've had scuffles with bad boys that wasn't pretending.
Making this part of the fake persona that he's been calling Drake out for. Drake's acting like he has dirt on Kendrick while scrambling to find it.
It was fun until you started to put money in the streets.
Getting extorted by his people who he's paying to go find it.
They lost money because they came back with no receipts.
But then they come back with nothing.
I'm sorry that I live a boring life. I love peace.
What's another time Drake put money in the streets? The music video for God's Plan. A relevant reference in a song that makes a point out of Kendrick being closer to God and peace because of his
I thought he also paid to get information on Pusha T as well.
honesty. Drake giving out money for a camera
that
to
not
make
true?
more money off the song itself is a perfect example of why he's not on the same level spiritually. Kendrick starts his verse by describing the scene of himself on vacation, similar to how he said he's in a peaceful state on a remote island in Euphoria.
Okay, the island right here is remote, okay?
Basically, he can't be bothered. He's chilling, enjoying life. But while he's describing this scene on vacation,
boy ain't
he's
got
making
it.
constant layered references to Drake.
Off-white Sunseeker at the marina.
Calling Drake an off-white sunseeker is a dig at him being biracial and not black enough. Sunseeker could be seeking his sun, but also trying to tan and be more black. At the
When I heard that bar, of course I'm thinking of the brand Off-White.
Marina, which is a
This
homophone for
man.
at them arenas that Drake has been at for the past year on tour. Kendrick is relaxing, enjoying the company of his family on a Sunseeker, a type of luxury yacht, while Drake is still drowning in work and making money for his label, and he contrasts these in the same line. Sunseeker is also a reference to daylit, because the sun makes the daylit, the rapper who allegedly wrote back-to-back for Drake, which is fitting since this is Kendrick's back-to-back. The off-white part is also a reference to Virgil, who Drake constantly associates himself with.
I've heard that rumor, but I don't know the validity in that. And I don't think Kendrick has come out and just explicitly said it. So I don't know.
This means he's seeking.
That would really fucking suck if we find that out, that Drake didn't even write back to back.
seeking the sun or attention from Virgil's success, which he does with a lot of other artists.
Fuck a phantom, I like to buy yes when I get the fever.
He references Drake's ghostwriters as phantoms and Lil Yachty as one of those writers, as it was leaked by Metro that he wrote Jumbotron Shit Poppin'.
Oh yeah, I heard that
is also a
reference
yacht
track.
brand, and Drake once admitted to renting a Phantom in 2007 for $5,000 a month. Another example of Drake faking his persona to fit in. Kendrick buying things in a fever and to fill a void is a concept he talked about in United in Grief.
A couple of mansions, chef for practice, breathe different. Wine cooler spill on my white t-shirt, the sightseer.
Those red wine stains on his shirt double as blood splatter from killing Drake in his vacation metaphor. A sightseer is a term for those paper targets and gun ranges, and he could just be calling Drake a tourist, just in the culture to see the sights but not really belonging to it. In the first half of the song, he begins to delve into the spiritual side, bringing up a holy trinity-like combination of things that define him.
Trifecta, money, morals, and culture.
While Drake only has the money, Kendrick has that alongside morals and culture.
Passport tatted, that's your hub in Ibiza.
He's saying he's well-traveled here, but he's also referencing the album that J. Cole dissed him on. It had a song called Trade the Truth in Ibiza.
Luke Cali's dwellings in Brooklyn just to book me some pizza.
This is a response to Drake saying he's struggling in that NY apartment.
No, you're in that NY apartment, you're struggling right now, I know it.
But does he know something we don't about when Drake and KD went there for dinner in 2020? Last time we referenced a restaurant, it was New Hall King in Toronto, where Drake got robbed in 2009.
It's only God can teleport this.
Apparently he didn't get robbed there. He got robbed down the street. He got robbed at an Italian restaurant. So that's also a rumor that's been circulating that's incorrect. So that's how, yeah, you have to be careful, especially when people making these videos. It's like, y'all got to dig a little deeper, because if I could dig a little bit and get the truth, then you can if you put this video together. But yeah, that's what I initially thought as well, because I kept seeing people say that. But when I looked it up, like, he didn't get robbed there. So, but again, well, I'm saying again, but I already said this on my Patreon. Kendrick never said that Drake got robbed there.
Type of freedom.
This is a response to
People
Drake
just
saying that
assume
he
that.
has no freedom in his label. Kendrick is saying that his real freedom is in his relationship with God, and no money can replace that.
My confession is yours.
Kendrick confessed his sins and shortcomings on his last album and found peace from
I
that,
discover myself when not far short.
but also acknowledges he is who he is because he's ready to go to war.
Who am I if I don't go to war?
Here's another spiritual reference that can allude to jumping on a song with a rapper named after a planet, Pluto,
Me jumping planets immortalized.
and the falling sky, the world-shattering impact that it had on music and Drake's career that resulted from one verse.
I raise my hands to a falling sky.
He dropped Euphoria 8/24, Kobe's birthday, and then this song with Pac's birthday.
3 angels watching me all the time.
So if those are the angels that are watching him, whoever the next West Coast legend that's watching over him is likely going to be the time he drops the next one. Nipsey was born on August 15th, so if the next song drops at 8:15, I called it. It's also a reference to the religious concept of 3 angels being assigned to people at birth.
Put my children to sleep with a prayer. They close my eyes.
It might have dropped at 6:15 though. But yes, of course he's gonna go based on West Coast time. So no, I guess that doesn't.
Definition of peace.
Not only is peace from spirituality something that Kendrick has that he's saying Drake never will, but raising and protecting his child with that is a big part of that peace too. He's kind of saying Drake won't be able to raise his son right if he doesn't have God in his life.
Tell me who gon' stop me. I come from love.
With this inner peace from family and God in hand, you can't shake Kendrick, referencing this verse from Romans.
And still cover my heart.
Here he references his late grandmother, who he raps
I think that's wild for him to keep talking about God and bringing God into this when you are fucking demolishing this man. This is not very godlike. So it does come across a bit hypocritical, I must say. He's trying to make it seem like I'm a man of God, I'm holy. These actions aren't giving holy, sir. It's giving bullying. At this point, we're feeling bad for Drake, so it's just not seeming like you are walking with Christ. That's not what I'm getting now. My brother Cole, he's a man of God. He's a man of spirituality, okay? He backed out and protected his peace. You said, actually, I'm going to walk into the fire. Fuck out of here. I'm going to kill you. Die. That's what you said. So it's like, you doing all that and saying all that and talking about God. And then it's like, what?
that often as an inspiration and another guardian angel in his life, like on United in Grief.
Heartbroken when it's down to say goodbye. Circadian rhythms of a shooting star.
Circadian rhythms are sleep cycles, so along with how a star is still until it's shooting. He's showing how he
I
remains
don't know what that
dormant and
was.
at rest until it's time to wake up and go to war. Instead of trying to keep that warlike persona at all times like Drake, this diss song is also literally him shooting at a star.
The mannerisms of Raphael, I can heal and give you art.
Here he's referencing the angel Raphael, who's known for healing, and the painter Raphael, whose work showed focus on the human anatomy at times.
But the industry's cooked as I pick the carcass of heart.
His music can heal you like the angel Raphael, but it could also dissect you like a painter, with a double entendre of cooking a dead animal carcass. It's also what this song does. The first half up to this point was more focused on his own healing, but the rest of the song is the dissection of the industry and the shady ways that Drake uses it. He starts with DJ Academic,
I can see the vibes on Ack, even he looking compromised.
who's known to be obsessed with Drake and who Drake has been using throughout this whole beef as a sample, counting down every day that he didn't respond to Drake, but might even now be compromised as he was visibly shocked on stream listening to Euphoria. This is where Kendrick starts talking about the leaks and moles in Drake's operation, and this line implies that DJ Academics might be one of them, or at least isn't as loyal as Drake thinks. A month ago, he bought a Maybach and called it a representation of the rappers whose careers he killed. Again, the cover of this
But
song.
how can, I mean, unless Ack is lying, but I feel like Ack has always been honest in saying that he's never met Drake. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't keep up with everything Ack does, but I do watch him every now and then, and I definitely recall him saying that they haven't met and that he barely ever talks to Drake. So it's not like they have this close relationship. So how can Ack really be a leak in the operation? I don't think he knows that much about Drake, to be honest. I think he's just a super fanboy. That's what I think. I could be wrong though. Or he could be capping. He could be, just misleading his audience and making it seem like, oh, I don't really fuck with Drake like that. I don't talk to him like that. But they, after stream, he on the phone with him like, Drake, you know what they saying about you? So we don't really know what the fuck is going on, to be honest.
Song was a Maybach look. He's also referencing Push's diss, where he said he would be coming with more disses all summer, and that he was ready to
Peel it back layer by layer.
If Push had more dirt on Drake to follow up the Sun reveal, this implies Kendrick definitely has it too.
Beating your chest, harassing Ant.
Here Kendrick standing up for his manager Ant, who Drake brought into the beef with these story posts. In the next few lines, he references 3 different labels: Good Music, which Pusha T was on,
Fucking with good people, make good people go to bed.
Cash from XO, which The Weeknd is signed to,
Conspiracies about cash, dog, that's not even the leak.
and then OVO.
Have you ever thought that OVO is working for me?
These conspiracies about Cash that he's talking about are this line about The Weeknd's manager extorting him from push-ups.
Cash flowing, able bread out here tricking.
And Cash Doll is a girl that left her man for Drake and got robbed of $500,000 worth of jewels, which is why he calls her a jewel.
Find the jewels like cash, dog. I just need you to think.
When Kendrick starts saying here that you think Abel and I are getting extorted, look around you. Everyone that you're paying in your camp to get dirt is taking your money and coming back with nothing because Kendrick has nothing to hide. Him saying that's not even the leak is a reference to The Weeknd implying this in his Drake diss.
When they got leaks in their operation.
He continues this game of Never Have I Ever that he started in Euphoria.
Have you ever played? Have you ever? Okay, nigga, let's play.
Are you finally ready to play? Have you ever? Let's see.
As a dig at Drake's creepy relationships with high schoolers. And after that comes the line about someone in OVO working for Kendrick. And here's what he's been hearing from that leak.
You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it.
There's probably something we don't know about how Drake is treating the people in his camp, which is making them resent him and secretly side with Kendrick. And now he's got a source of dirt that he didn't have to go around and pay for, like he said on Euphoria.
Why would I come around trying to get dirt on niggas? You think of my life as rap?
Drake is going around paying the people in his camp to get some dirt on Kendrick. Meanwhile, they're actually feeding dirt about Drake to Kendrick. So, referencing whatever dirt he's hearing from the mole, he
Look at
references
those
Drake's
pictures.
Tootsie Slide.
Can't Tootsie slide about it. This one is just gonna resurface.
Another song where Drake fakes being about street life, saying that either way he's gonna slide and that he can't let shit slide. Kendrick's like, alright then, don't let this shit slide. He's testing him to see what he's gonna do about that mole. But the resurface part also implies that it's just as easy to find another one and that more dirt will surface, and that's how disloyal Drake's camp is.
Every dog gotta have his day. Now live in your purpose.
This line is a double reference to For All the Dogs, and this line in Kendrick's For Free,
Every dog has his day. Now doggy style, Shanell.
a song that Drake interpolated with a DJ Khaled record of the same name. Then we get those lines about Drake not finding any real dirt that I mentioned before, claiming again that Drake has to be careful about who's wired up, leaking things against him.
Know the wires in your circle should puzzle you.
Again, calling his street persona fake by saying if he was really from the streets, he wouldn't have that many people around him extorting him.
If you were street smart, then you would have caught that your entourage is only to hustle you.
If Drake is coming after all these rappers for spending the money he
Baby
knows on
doll
women
test
and
is
men
very
in their
sad.
camp on push-ups.
Shit we do for bitches, he doing for niggas.
Kendrick is responding by saying not only are you paying even more people,
100 niggas that you got on salary.
a lot of them would rather see you dead.
And 20 of them want you as a casualty.
He references Beam here as one of those 20.
And one of them is actually next to you.
A singer-songwriter that he called out as one of Drake's writers
Nice
on
about
Euphoria.
Chance.
3v1 is 1v20 if I gotta smack niggas that right with you. Yeah, tell Bean that he better stay right with you.
Finally, he's coming after Drake for using media sources like academics and industry plants like Zach Bia.
You're playing dirty with Zach Bia and put Twitter bots.
To spread propaganda and try to sway the public.
You playing dirty with propaganda, it blow up on you.
A lot of people have accused Drake of using Twitter bots to slander his enemies since the Pusha T beat. With all these screenshots popping up now of fake accounts and big rap pages that glaze Drake popping out of nowhere.
The little means is losing steam, they figured you out.
Kendrick is saying time's up on trying to win the battle on the internet through memes and what he calls forced opinions.
The forced opinions is not convincing, I need a new route.
Basically all these posts and comments making people think they're taking his side because people are going to figure it out eventually. It's an interesting claim to make. Whatever comments are flooded with can really influence people's opinions before they hear a song. Drake's been using this
exactly. That's why I'm very careful not to look at like blogs and comments and shit before I react to a song or album, because I just don't want anything to sway my opinion, even if it's subconsciously. So I really don't do that, which is why I had such a strong emotional reaction when I reacted to Meet the Grams. It's because I literally went in blind. I had no idea what was going to be mentioned whatsoever. I did think it was going to be more on the lighthearted side, especially because I had just reacted to Family Matters. And I mean, although Drake had some hard-hitting lines, it still was on the more lighthearted side. I was just like, oh yes, this is a diss. Okay, bars. All right, he said this. Oh, okay. You know, it was light, like surface level shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. All right, now time to react to the Kendrick one. And I was just like, because I didn't look it up. Had I looked shit up or looked at comments and seen people quote things, I would have already like had an idea of what to expect, and I feel like I wouldn't have been nearly as shocked. I highly doubt that would have like made me emotional if I saw that beforehand. I'm pretty sure actually that it wouldn't have made me emotional, because it's like, oh, okay, I already knew. Like, oh, they already told me. And oh, this is already people's opinions about it. You know?
AI track. But Kendrick is saying bar for bar, he could expose Drake and make it so that these gimmicks don't work. He gives him one last warning to find out who's really loyal and who's not around him.
It's time that you look around on who's around you.
And the last line,
before you figure that you're not alone, ask what Mike would do.
He references the disses, What Would Meek Do by Pusha T. Drake's diss on Future, What Would Pluto Do? The common religious saying, What Would Jesus do? And makes one last reference to Drake calling himself MJ by referencing You Are Not Alone. You Are Not Alone was composed by R. Kelly. I think it was written by him too, making it another reference to Drake's Diddy allegation. Thank you guys so much.
Okay, so this is Meet the Grams breakdown. Lord.
I don't even want to hear any new diss after this. We need a full FBI investigation after some of the things Kendrick just said on Meet the Grams. Bro said OVO is full of sex offenders on Drake's payroll.
He got sex offenders on OVO that he keep on a monthly allowance.
We already knew about Baka Not Nice, an OVO artist right now who has human trafficking and prostitution charges. But this is saying that there could be more and that they're running a whole trafficking operation through Drake's mansion.
They be streaming 150 all inside of their home and calling them Tinder.
And using shit like his leaked nuke, Drake's mansion.
They be streaming 150 all inside of their home and calling them
Possible code word for the ring. Okay, I had a different interpretation that I gave on my reaction, but okay.
Tinder.
And using shit like his leaked nudes to attract more victims.
Then leak videos of themselves to further push their agendas.
Drake's not just hiding an 11-year-old dog.
Oh shit! Oh, that's what my patron was talking about. Oh, I missed that bar for whatever reason, because when I reacted to Drake's, I think it was Drake's diss track, I said, oh yeah, because Drake mentioned that he had a big dick or whatever, and I was like, this nigga probably leaked this himself. And then when I reacted to, oh no, so under that video, somebody left a comment was like, oh, not deep predicting, and I'm just like, wait, what? So it came out that he was the one who did leak it, but that's why they said that, is because Kendrick said that on Meet the Grams. I missed that bar where he said he leaked it on purpose. Listen, it was too much to take in, so I was just like bombarded. But I missed that.
Then leak videos of themselves to further push their agendas.
Drake's not just hiding an 11-year-old daughter.
Yeah, baby girl, I'm sorry that your father not active inside your world.
But many other children.
You lied about them other kids that's out there hoping that you come.
He dissed Drake in the form of letters to his family, which is just straight evil. Adonis and Drake's daughter are going to grow up and hear this directed straight to them. This is going to haunt them for the rest of their lives.
Can't understand me right now. Just play this when you're 18.
The fact that he does this after a Drake diss called Family Matters is just crazy. Kendrick is making sure that this is the song that they know their father by and that they see him as a predator forever.
I tell you who your father is, just play the song when it rains.
In the diss from yesterday morning, Kendrick told us that he had moles in Drake's camp that are preying on his downfall because of how bad of a person he is.
She must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it.
He plays the chess move of calling out all the celebrities associated with him that care about their families to keep away and keep their kids safe.
Hey, Lil Bron, keep the family away. Hey, Curry, keep the family away.
But there's no way any of his celebrity friends are going to want to be associated with him anymore after this direct call out. And what's going on is so bad that Kendrick is saying his house should get raided like Diddy's.
The embassy about to get raided too. It's only a matter of time.
That's the short version, but now I'm gonna break down all the references and character assassination that just went on here. So that picture from this morning, from the cover of 616, turns out it was proof that Kendrick had a mole, and the glove was just a piece of the whole picture. Kendrick has Drake's Ozempic, jewelry receipts, possibly gifts to lure the victim, all with his name and address all over it. And that's after Drake just called out Rick Ross for using Ozempic. Getting into the song, verse 1 is directed at Adonis.
Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest.
Second verse to Drake's mom, Sandra.
Dear Sandra, your son got some habits. I hope you don't undermine them.
And his father, Dennis.
You raised a horrible fucking person. The nerve of you, Dennis.
The third to his daughter, and the last one is straight to Drake. The Adonis segment has Kendrick showing pity that Adonis has to grow up with the trauma that Drake's decisions are going to leave him with.
Sometimes our parents make mistakes that affect us until we grow.
Saying he's never going to become a man that way, and he offers to be his father figure instead.
Let me be your mentor, since your daddy don't teach you shit.
Then he references T.I. pissing on Drake's leg.
Never let a man piss on your leg, son.
Which Meek Mill had already brought up in 2015, and T.I. himself confirmed. He warns Adonis not to follow in his dad's footsteps in anything prostitution related.
Never fall in the escort business, that's bad religion.
Whether it's whatever sex trafficking he's referring to in the embassy, or the escorts that he gets in Turks.
Instead, he being Turks paying for sex and popping perks.
He's telling him not to be ashamed of being black or not black enough.
Never code switch, whether right or wrong, you're a black man.
Accusing Drake of doing both, depending on what helps his career the most.
And even if it don't benefit your goals, do some push-ups.
Referencing Drake's song Push-Ups and even saying Drake should be teaching him hard work and discipline, flipping the push-ups into a positive thing for actually raising a child. He mentions the Ozempic that we see on the cover here,
Fuck what Ozempic did.
and he says that as long as he's nothing like his father, he'll be a good person, which completely shatters Drake as a positive father figure in Adonis' eyes.
And you nothing like him, you'll carry yourself as king.
When he addresses his parents in verse 2, he loses the more careful tone of the first verse and addresses some of the issues more direct. Like he's telling them straight up to get their son straight, warning them of the way he's manipulated and will keep manipulating them.
As you gave birth to a master manipulator.
And in some moments blaming them for how fucked up their son is.
I'm blaming you for all this gambling addiction.
He straight up says he's done so much damage to women that the only way that they can move on is if he died or was in a cell with Weinstein.
Him and Weinstein should get fucked up in a cell for the rest of their life. Fuck a rap battle, he should die so all of these women can live with a purpose.
This is the verse where he goes into the sex trafficking allegations and is making female fans think twice about listening to him given everything that he's done.
To any woman that be playing this music, know that you're playing your sister.
He's straight up saying that these women are being sold in this ring.
Or better yet, selling your niece to the weirdos.
And he references Cat Williams, who similarly started exposing Diddy earlier this year.
It's Cat Williams that gave you the truth, so I'ma get mine.
And he directly threatens to kill Drake for being a predator in the last line of the verse.
Wait, I'm looking to shoot through any pervert that lives.
In the verse addressed to his daughter, he talks about all the things he should be doing with her instead of living inside the delusions that he created in his music.
You're a narcissist, misogynist, living inside his songs.
Calling him out for using his status to home wreck families and get with married women.
Try destroying families rather than taking care of his own.
Meanwhile, he's completely absent from his own family's life.
Should be teaching you timetables or watching Frozen with you.
This is where he starts to direct shit back at Drake and make it clear Drake is at war with himself and not Kendrick, dealing with some trauma from his fucked up upbringing that he's passing on to his children.
His father probably didn't claim him neither. History do repeats itself.
Which is exactly the point of the last Kendrick album,
Give him grace. This the reason I made Mr. Morale.
and it was the process he went through after cheating on his wife to at least try to be a better person. He gives his daughter some advice,
Never want to hear you chasing in cause it's felt behavior.
and that advice also warns Drake that his daughter might end up like the women he abuses if he stays absent.
You're sitting in the club with sugar daddies for validation.
With a crazy shot referencing Drake's More Life album.
And a fucking dead beat that should never say more life.
The irony there of abandoning so many children after saying something like More Life speaks for itself. The last verse directly at Drake is to say Kendrick didn't even want to go to war.
Truthfully, I don't have a hating bone in my body.
Drake
Cap.
just crossed the line bringing up his wife on push-ups.
But you fucked up the moment you called out my family's name.
And here he acts like he wants to understand what made him this way.
And I like to understand cause your house was never a home.
And maybe even give him some advice to help.
Start, but I suggest some ayahuasca. Strip the ego from the bottom.
Saying he's clearly insecure about everything from his race,
Don't know which family would love you. The skin that you living in is compromised and personas
his sense of manhood,
can't channel your masculine even when standing next to a woman.
and saying he's hiding some of his baby mamas from the world just because they're fat.
You a body shamer. You go hide them baby mamas, ain't you? You embarrassed of them.
Finally discrediting him as a role model and an honest person, listing off all the things Drake has been caught lying about before,
You lied about your accent and your past tense, all this perjury.
which makes any new claims have no weight.
Why believe you? You never gave us nothing to believe in.
And saying Kendrick could have helped him be better at one point,
You lied about the only artist that can offer you some help.
but he had to go and lie about him too, and that no one could help him now but himself.
Fuck a rap battle. This a long life battle with yourself.
Thanks for watching. I don't know how to sleep tonight.
Bro, this got so brutal so fast. It's wild. And Kendrick is so strategic. He's dropped his shit back to back to back to the point where it's drowning out Drake's latest diss track. Now, Family Matters is not really being discussed like that anymore because there's so much hype around Kendrick's latest diss tracks. So that was very strategic. And yeah, I'm just starting to feel kind of bad for Drake at this point. It's getting real brutal. Like, Kendrick is just murdering this man. But actually, I don't feel bad for him. If these allegations are true, then Drake needs to get what the fuck he deserves. Whatever is coming to him, he needs to get, because what the actual fuck. And obviously, we don't know for sure. I don't know these people, so who knows what the truth actually is. But I did find a couple receipts, and I reacted to them over on my Patreon on the Kendrick reaction, and it don't look good. Okay, it don't look good. Maybe there's an explanation behind those receipts, but just, I don't know. Drake got caught in 4K on some weirdo shit. So I think there may be some validity in what Kendrick is saying. So if that's the case, Drake needs to be fucking exposed because it's disgusting. And people are focused on the wrong shit. I feel like I saw more people discussing, Drake got a daughter and where is she? Trying to find pictures of her and shit. Y'all focus on the wrong shit. What about these pedo allegations? And even Drake weird ass is focusing on the wrong shit. He wants to make an Instagram story and address the daughter thing. You not gonna address these PDF file allegations? You not gonna address that? Excuse me? Just gross, bro. I hate everybody. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye!